Greetings and welcome back, everybody. This is Into the Nexus, the podcast all about Heroes of the Storm. I'm Garrett Weinzierl, here as always with Kyle Fergusson, here to talk everything going on in the world of Heroes this week. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Garrett?
I have pre-vacation senioritis. Not for this show,
Sure.
but I have like a lot of like work I have to get done, and oh boy. Listen, I am thankful for each and every one of you clients out there hiring me to do things, but oh boy, am I ready for it all to be done so I can just disappear.
It's the summer. It's a time to get distracted. You know, but today's the last day of the Steam summer sale, so I'm desperately trying to decide if I want anything before everything goes back to full price, you know?
I've been looking at it, man. Nothing I want is cheap enough. Basically, Cyberpunk is still way too much money. Is my thought about the summer sale. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. That if they just hold out long enough, they'll eventually get me. But believe me, I can play XCOM 7 more times if I have to. Yep.
Hold out for Christmas. Hold out
for the second Cyberpunk Christmas.
You know, I would report lots of new things, but sadly, and my YouTube audience has let me know, things aren't terribly new around here when it comes to heroes. I am a Cassia main. I play a lot of Cassia. It's a beautiful first pick. It does so much stupid damage. You pretend to debate whether or not you want to do stacks at 1, and then you go stacks at 1, and then you pretend to debate at 13 and 16 if you're going to do anything different, but you usually don't. And I'm having a great time with that. And anytime someone's like, I want assassins more than you, or Cassia's gone, I play the I'll tank, look at this nice little Muradin or something like that. But actually, I'm going Mal'Ganis. So here's the surprise. And like, big surprise, right? I'm making this big show out of it, being like, guys, I want to play my favorite tank. Hope I can get it. It's the top win rate tank right now. Like, there's no game to be played. I could probably early pick it. I just love him so much that I don't want to get countered because I love him so much.
Are you afraid of being hurt? Is that what you're telling me, Kyle?
A little bit, you know. I mean, it does suck. He has counters, you know, they do happen. But being the highest win rate tank in the game right now, it's also probably not a bad idea to just slam it anyway.
We mentioned that you said Mal'Ganis, yes? Have you mentioned it's Mal'Ganis?
Yes.
In case anyone listening is like isn't sure. Yeah. No, I can feel that, dude. I am in again, probably because I'm about to be gone for a couple weeks. By the way, dear listeners, I will not be on the next 2 episodes of Into the Nexus. I'm not leaving you forever, unless Kyle really likes not having me on the show.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. Good to know.
Come on back. Well, the seat will be fresh for you.
I was making a joke, but now I'm worried. No, I'm worried. Took in a serious direction. Now, I just want to have fun right now, man. I'm not. My try hard does. I am a try fun right now. I'm not try harden. I just want to play. I just want to play like Li Ming. I just want to throw orbs, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just want to throw orbs. I just want to double down on you having like a throwaway line of like, I kind of feel like playing Arthas. I'm like, cool, I'll play Raynor and just take I'll take the 8s in the hole. Let's do it. Then I'll disconnect.
That was a lot of
they'll
fun.
pick the wrong talents, but we still won anyway. It's okay.
Hey, we had a Syndragosa Hyperion combo, which probably didn't do as much as it looked, but that was a lot of graphics on screen at once. It felt awesome.
Oh, it was wonderfully thematic. Could you imagine that painted on the side of your panel van, man? Like an undead dragon flying underneath a giant battle cruiser as ice and Yamato's fire down. Had to think about it. I couldn't remember the attack on a battle cruiser. It's been too long since StarCraft, man.
Yeah, I'll have to. Where am I going to put the wizard, though?
I mean, okay. So we're gonna do some atmospheric perspective here now, Kyle. So we've got essentially a three ground objects we need to place. So the wizard would be your Li Ming or whoever. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite wizard? Who's your favorite mage? Kel'Thas?
Oh, I was bailing on heroes, man. You got to go
Oh.
truck stop wizard. You know, you got to go
Okay.
full blown big beard, blue hat. You know what I mean?
Well, then I'll go with your favorite one, which is that Daffy Duck cartoon about being a wizard. So you got Daffy Duck
that is
wizard
a
in the
good one,
foreground, and then you've got half, like 50% foggy atmospheric perspective on the center ghost, and then full make it look massive and really far and push back behind the cloud battle cruiser. That's your three character setup for your panel van. We figured it out. Someone who's a better artist than me, please draw that. Thank you.
There's also, a little bit of downtime between now and the next CCL, which is going to continue not this weekend, but next weekend, which I think has left a lot of our streams a lot more in a wacky place because quite a few teams are, of course, out at this point. No spoilers there. The continuing players are all streaming a lot, but they're also practicing a lot. So they're often breaking outside their comfort zone. So in general, the game, if someone were to happen upon it right now, they might feel like, ooh, things are so slow. Like, no, this is just the dead heat of summer.
We're 2 weeks after a patch.
Right. We all are laying around bloated on hot dogs and American freedom.
This is still post 4th of July week, isn't it? No wonder Thursday got here so quick.
I know, right?
It's weird when you work when you may sync your show and schedule, man, and like you don't think about taking Monday off, but you still did because you're like, oh, I got to spend time with my wife.
I didn't know about Observance Day. I just sat down to work and things were real quiet.
Yeah. Katie likes, still goes to an office, so like it's a big deal when she's home. So and I was like, oh, you want to spend time together, honey? And she goes, yeah. And then she trapped me. She's like, let's do yard work. I'm like, no.
Nice.
Yeah. I got pretty sunburned that day. It was a hot Monday. But yeah, dude, I feel like my desire to my lack of desire for self-improvement in Heroes of the Storm is not a commentary on the game itself. I feel like it's very personal. I feel like if I wasn't about to go away and take some time for myself and enjoy myself, I feel like I'd be into it. It'd be time to like buckle down. 2 weeks post patch. Let's really learn what's good. Let's pick our project and let's go. So I'm not picking up on that at all. I feel like most of my heroes brethren are in the improvement try hard boat.
My mains are amazing right now. I apparently have 100% win rate on Mal'Ganis this season. Looking at it, nice. Go me.
Is that because you picked it once and now you're afraid? Like,
no. I've
quantify that for me, man.
3 times compared to the 18 Cassia games with a 72% win rate. So, dude, I'm horribly...
Hold on, don't glaze over that. That's an accomplishment. Is 70 over a 70% win rate? That's great.
That's not bad. I mean, but that contributes to my boredom that I have to report. Is that I'm a Cassia main and it's good right now, and I'm gonna ride until somebody at Blizzard does something about it, which they probably should. But please give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks.
I think you'll get your 2 weeks.
Okay, all right.
I think
I can push it. I can push it in a week, but I'd like 2 weeks, please.
I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right. So, well, anyways, before we get into this week's topic of choice, we want to thank those of you supporting us over at patreon.com/ITN, because as we mentioned before, Kyle and I, we're doing this by ourselves, contrary to popular belief. We are not in the back pocket of Blizzard. I wish we were. It'd probably pay really well, but we aren't. And so it pays what you fine listeners at home see fit to pay us over at patreon.com/ITN. And we really do appreciate everybody that's supporting us over there. So if you like the show, if you like what Kyle and I are doing, you like us bringing you the weekly Heroes of the Storm news and maybe nabbing a dev interview here and there, head on over to patreon.com/ITN and consider chipping in $1 or more, whatever works for you. We really appreciate it. And you'll get yourself access to our Discord, our monthly game nights. Have another one coming up in a month. We did one last week.
This is true. Under the monthly title, we pledge such things.
Yes, indeed we do. So go check it out and get yourself some perks and hang out with us and our lovely community in our patron-only Discord. But now, Kyle, let's see what's going on in Heroes of the Storm this week.
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven up this place!
Point me to the stage.
Stay a while and listen.
All right. Well, Kyle, I don't know if you noticed. That's a lie. I know you did because you informed me of this. The community had a field day with some of Kofalt's comments from our interview last week. And there's no subtext there. People seem really stoked on Kofalt's comments on the podcast last week, and there's been a lot of talk and a lot of theory crafting about what talents could possibly look like under the umbrella of the standards that Kofalt mentioned. And there were a couple of different posts that led to this kind of community theory crafting. I saw the one from Spazzo where he basically put forward, if you were to balance the game by the standards mentioned by Blizz Kofalt, what would you propose? To which many Redditors replied and had proposals ready.
There was also the "What is your dream balance patch?" posted by Lucifer474, who also gathered up a bunch of comments about what people are feeling. The sort of tagline they went with from the interview was, try to make something that sounds really exciting on paper, but aren't that broken or as broken as you think they are.
Yeah, something Kofalt said last week. It was kind of his philosophy. He wanted to make things that were sexy and got you riled up, but then ended up being relatively balanced when you got into game. And so I guess as we move through these, Kyle, we're going to constantly be asking ourselves, is this exciting? And is it broken?
Yes.
Two criteria.
The pillars of Kofalt.
The two pillars of Kofalt.
Yes, we will put those words right in his mouth. And anyone who came by these threads were fabulous. The only other threads that happened is, why didn't you ask about the new hero? Which I must say, but we're not going to do that. All right. He was a fabulous guest. We appreciate his time. We love the show, frankly, and I think it's a big deal. But it takes a lot of people to make a new hero. We would not put anyone on the spot for such a thing.
Well, we knew we wouldn't get an answer. They're not ready to do it. They're strictly not ready to announce the next hero or when the next hero is coming. So there's no point in asking because they're not going to announce it. That's the kind of thing that is going to have a tease and then is going to have a major announcement post. They're not, as much as I would love that news to be broken on this podcast, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a little easier with card reveals too, because there's so many moving pieces.
Are you saying get someone accidentally to reveal a thing?
You know, could we like get in a talent reveal? Like, let's, you do your press thing. It takes a team. It takes a village to build a hero. Go for it. Announce the hero. But in those videos they make, there's maybe 5 talents we see exclusively. How about you cut them up a little bit? We got.
Oh, you're talking about PR, how they're you get a card reveal, over on Hearthstone. The Angry Chicken doesn't get a card reveal ever for 7 years.
You've
never had a card reveal, not once. No.
Oh, even for a tweet?
Nope, nothing.
Oh
no.
Well, there are 7 tiers. Okay, we got 7.
Just move right past it. Yep, go ahead.
I'm sad for you. I don't want to linger on it. 7 tiers, 2 at 10, and let's go ahead and assume there's 4 20s. So that gives us 24, 26. There are 26 talents, and you show about 4 per video, and kind of this check out the cool things they'll be doing. Actually, we got to minus the heroics, don't we? So that's 18. You got 18 people who would be willing to tweet a single talent. I think that's PR gold right there.
Could be, yeah. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Let's suggest it strongly.
We're suggesting it strongly now.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the technical term in PR land? Activation. I suggest this activation.
Yes, we would be the influencers' desire.
We just want to reach out and suggest this activation.
I'll even include, if you like it, retweet, and if you don't like it, like it. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. No, dude, to the community listening, this has been great. The feedback from Kofalt's appearance was just across the board, supremely positive, kind, and encouraging. So thanks everybody. And again, it's so cool. It's so cool seeing so many threads, man, with so many comments, and it's so on topic. People are jazzed. People are just geeking out over this stuff, and we're going to cover a lot of it here. So again, Kyle, today we're going to look at these suggestions, these talent suggestions, and we're going to be judging: is this exciting? Is it broken? We want it to be exciting. We do not want it to be broken. Although I have a feeling I might get excited about some things that I think are broken, and I don't care, and I want them to make it to the game.
We all have personal investments. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, I'm going to be looking for anything that says Zagara. Okay. What are you going to be? What are you going to be mining from the depths of the community today?
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want new talents for? What do you want what do you want that's exciting on paper but not broken? Who needs help?
Okay, I'll do my old list. I'll go through my current most requests. The Kyle currently most requests. Jaina Ice Block auto unlock. That can be at a level. That can be from the start of the game. Just give it to me. Give it. No more farming. Give me the ice block. I had a cool one this week. Sylvanas Black Arrow at 4 or 7. That would cut down on cheesy wall cheese. No more cheesy wall cheese.
Oh, you want it? You want a nerf?
Yeah,
that is a nerf. I mean, what you're describing is
is a nerf. Just for level 4. You're not actually doing anything cool until beyond that.
So not a talent, an unlock.
Yes, just it turns on at some point.
You hit level 4, there you go.
There you go. Don't go bottom lane, all 5 of you, and get one of my towers. Congratulations. And Zarya got a full shield for no one's there. Like, just cut the bull, and we'll do that later. That can be a feature later on.
Well, Kyle, I'm gonna apply the co-fault measurements there. That is not broken, but it is also not exciting.
It is not exciting. No, that's true. Okay. Arthas is my last one. I think Blaze's power crept on him. Blaze's slow is 50% at range. Arthas has 40% slow, stacking up to that. Let's put that at 50. Come on. But that is not exciting.
Yeah.
But that's not broken.
It's not exciting, not broken, but it is an improvement. So it's mildly exciting.
Right. So I think Ice Block hits the Kofold doubles.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah, we're making some generalizations here. Maybe it would end up being broken. We have no way of being factually correct on that, but I don't think it would be. So I'm with you.
Right? Because what's she gonna do? She's gonna on a minute-long cooldown. Am I right? I'm gonna jump in try mode here. But at a minute-long cooldown, you're gonna run into the center of Tower's Doom, and she's gonna stand somewhere where she shouldn't and possibly live, but she wouldn't have been there anyway. 40-second cooldown. You can make that a minute, and then for a whole minute on Towers of Doom, no Jaina tomfoolery.
Let's do it. Make it so. Make it so.
Engage.
We messed with Raynor a lot recently, damage-wise. Like, they brought his AA down, right? During the first rework that, we had some words for, and they have since kind of, lightly reverted. They haven't messed with his attack speed. This dude's got a machine gun. Let's make him attack a little faster.
Oh, that's interesting.
A little bit. I realize we're playing with fire here because the faster he attacks, the faster he stacks up. And so there's a lot of concern there, but I think there's a world. I think there is a balance where it feels a lot more exciting to stutter step as Raynor.
I thought you were framing up like a conversation. I didn't realize we were diving into your requests. Okay. What if thematically, because I love the idea of different rounds. You got your grenade launchers in Resident Evil games. You got, of course, I want to think of like the old kind of Marine games like AVP, incendiary rounds, tracer rounds, all this sort of stuff. What if the machine gun's machine gunning, but there was a break for the third shot? So you'd and then do a little click, 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 boom for the bigger one.
I trust they could find a way to make that satisfying. It's confusing in my head, but I bet they could do it.
Plus, gameplay wise, I'd really like I'm gonna wail on this minion for a hot moment for a few times, and then the attack speed is like cut off, big slow. Lunara's jumping, kind of like big cut off speed, and then you get a little break where you go, oh right, I should take this attack and put it over here instead.
Yeah. Okay. I'd be into that.
hero.
I mean, that I just want it to feel more and more like Bio Micro in StarCraft 2. Just like stutter step, stim marine. I want it to be a little faster, a little crispier, a little snappier.
Those things were freaky, though.
It doesn't need to be that fast. It doesn't need to be that fast. But
Yeah.
like the faster his attack, like you suddenly need to learn a new stutter step speed, which is going to be a hump for literally anyone who's ever played more than one game with Raynor to get over. But it excites me. It's been something that's been in the back of my mind since we've been messing with attack numbers on Raynor. And you talking about your wishes seemed like a good time to mention it.
Yeah, I'm sure that Marines in StarCraft had some turn speed, but not visually. Those things snapped around and likely got very motion sick.
Give me a StarCraft 2 Raynor skin, which is just dropping frames from his animation when he turns.
Perfect.
So it just looks like he's about facing.
I believe
That's
that.
what I want.
I don't know League of Legends well enough, but I'm pretty sure they don't have turn speed, and that's one of kind of the features that players from that game struggle when they come to Dota or Heroes of the Storm with.
Yeah, I bet I don't know if that's true or not, but I could see if it were, then it would feel like you're playing the game in slow motion or underwater. But anyways, let's see some of the community ideas. So Spazzo put up that post, and Spazzo themselves had a lot of suggestions. You pulled some really interesting ones from here. You want to see the full list and the full kind of community deliberation about exciting but not broken talent suggestions. We have links to multiple threads in the show notes this week, so head on over to amove.tv. Look for episode 381 post. Show notes are always posted at the bottom. But Spazzo, kicking off some of Spazzo's highlights. Alex Straza, Blessing of the Red can be active up to 5 times at once, 5 times on one ally, or spread any other way.
That's a cute idea. So right now, Blessing of the Red, 40-second cooldown, level 20 talent as well. Activate to grant an allied hero 500 bonus maximum health until they die. Cannot be used on Alex Straza or a hero who already has Blessing of the Red. So they're suggesting a 2,500 health increase to that one guy. Illidan's, Butchers, whoever it may be.
Okay. I'm going to try and find different ways to say this, but that is exciting. I think that might be broken.
But on a 40-second cooldown of each go, is Illidan really going to live 40 seconds?
With 2,000 additional health?
That would be, well, up to 2,500 because they're saying do it 5 times, but that would be 40 seconds times 5 as well. Because you only can cast it once every 40 seconds. This is level 20 talent, mind you. Like, you got to get all the way there, and then Illidan has to live for 200 seconds in order to even take part in that. That's 3 minutes of Illidan's life. Impossible, I say. What is even the pick rate of this town? It's got to be low compared to all the other cool, like, Dragon Queen stuff going on. Blessing in the Red, 15%. That's actually higher than I expected.
Yeah. I mean, Illidan is an extreme example, so I guess I'm more concerned about, I don't know, any other hero that doesn't die constantly.
Sure. Yeah.
Self-healing heroes, tanks in general. Like, that'd be hard to ace a tank with multiple attacks worth of extra health. That's really affecting the what I would refer to in like Hearthstone Battlegrounds is like a break point, man. Like actually killing it. You think about how many cooldowns would typically secure a kill, and suddenly you're really offsetting that balance.
That's very true.
Not suddenly. Slowly over the course of multiple 40-second cooldowns, you're really upsetting that balance.
Let me take a look here at, I'm going to look at Tracer's health and see how much she has at level 20. So Tracer has, you would double Tracer's health basically. She's 2,914. Over the course of 3.5 minutes, it would take you that time, but you could double Tracer's health.
Okay. I think I might resign myself to mildly concerned about the power level of this, but definitely exciting.
Okay. To bring giant killers to kill Tracer because you see how it crowds on the enemy side.
I mean, you could look at it in a way of, well, giant killer just got more valuable.
We need it. We need a quick way to end this so we can say 2 for me. I vote 2. It's both.
Okay, I vote 1.
Okay, there we go.
It's exciting. Still think it might be broken. Oriel, target a second hero with bestow hope. Yes, with the asterisk of I think you might need to tweak how much hope Oriel gets from her bestow hope targets.
Okay, I think there's a great example of this working with Abathur right now. And he is noted, particularly in tournament play, as being a level 20 delay hero. In fact, this eluded me for a really long time. Everyone always said, did I say Alarak? Darn it. Abathur. It eluded me for a long time. Everyone's like, always do Abathur on Cursed Hollow. And I didn't know why. The answer is actually absurdly simple. It's because when you get the curse, Abathur can instant kill all the lanes with a spike burst and soak everything via the hat. So you can do whatever the hell you want during the curse when you have an Abathur because he's taking care of every piece of XP on the entire map. Which means you have more XP than the opponent. Granted, you're kind of missing the body, so getting the curses is a little bit of a gamble, but that XP soak will get you to 20, and at that point you do Hive Mind, where the symbiote creates a secondary symbiote near the hatted allied hero. The symbiote mimics the commands of the first, but does half damage and shielding. So I say yes, but we give it the exact same treatment, halfsies, for your secondary hat from Oriel.
Yeah, I don't want to get too lost in the minutia of figuring out how much would be the right amount. But I think that is a good example of something that currently exists in the game. So, yeah. I like this one quite a bit. I think it would need a numbers tweak, but the general pitch of it, I like a lot. I think this would excite the hell out of Oriel players. And I believe we could find a balanced version of this.
I think, too, just giving her full hope when she, at high level, feels so cooldown dependent for Ray of Heaven. We can do that. No problem. Anything that messes with Ray of Heaven cooldown, that's what Oriel's really, really want. And I say, heck no. I've been there. I've been to 2017, and I don't want to go back.
There are other good things about 2017, but maybe not the Oriel meta.
What was the Shape of You by Ed Sheeran was the top song. Do you really want to go back?
Oh, God. Well, Game of Thrones was still good.
He was in it. So, it was right on the edge of completely losing all of us.
All right. Oriel, target a second hero with bestow hope. 2 out of 2 for me. I think that's exciting and not as broken as it sounds.
When did Despacito come out? Do I have to live through that again? That was 2019. Yeah, I'm big.
Oh, I thought Despacito was further back. Okay.
Me too.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
2020 did weird things to my memory of time.
Oh yeah, no, we've got no idea what day it is.
All right, what's your rating? What's your rating on this Oriel's edition? 2 out of 2? All right. We got a 2-2. We got a 2-2. Wonderful. Blaze. When Blaze dies, explode as though cast a fully charged combustion. 180-second cooldown. This is a 1 for me. This is exciting, and that seems nutty.
Yeah, they include the damage in it, which is scary. I love the idea that it's horrifying, actually. It always really bothered me to scream, in Brood War, and it was weirdly digital, of course, because the sound files of the time period, but they pop. And any movie, and there's so many movies where a guy with a flamethrower is having a bad day.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part of the first division was plinking the flamethrower dudes on the back, watching the fire shoot off, and then after a delay they just explode.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't even oh no. Actually, complete side note, speaking of which, really messed up Pirates of the Caribbean. They put the bomb inside the guy and then force him out of the moonlight, and he says oh bother before he explodes. Horrible. He's made of meat now. Awful thing.
Yeah, but
I remember the division was a little creepy too because they did the says he like had a couple seconds to deal with it, but despite the disturbing nature of it, I'd really like some time before I explode. Like if it was basically a material bomb. If I were to fizz for a time, knowing I'm going down, I'm invincible, maybe CCable, and
yeah,
I can walk a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's a version of this that works. I think giving it full damage and a 60% slow, like you just give it full combustion. I think that's too much impact.
Vox in the chat says a level 20 bunker explodes when destroyed as a level 20 talent.
Yeah, go for it. That's a level 20 talent. Let's do it.
It's kind of cool. Kind of
floating bunker.
Yeah, it's a little diva-y, right? Like you could put your bunker in the middle of the infernal shrines, and then it's gonna explode for at least something. That'd be nice and proactive. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Do we give it a micro stun or a small slow? Make it like a mini combustion so it doesn't completely eat combustion's lunch. Because you would have had to choose bunker in the first place and not gone combustion, but something would be interesting. Maybe it ignites oil slicks in a radius. There's something fun there. I like that one a lot, Zobix. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, for Zobix, I give that a 2 out of 2. For this one, I gotta go with 1.
I give it a 2 asterisks. It's definitely exciting. I believe it could be balanced, but not as suggested. Give it a 2 asterisks. All right, Diablo, target enemy to remove their vision of everything except Diablo.
Is this a reference I don't know? Does Diablo do this?
Is there like an alone in the dark Diablo ability?
I kind of feel like I sort of remember being blind in parts of, but he also casts Bone Prison. So,
Yeah, this is a weird one. Also, a lot of Dahaka crossover here.
That's true. You can't see Dahaka though. You see nothing.
Well, right. It's very similar to Dahaka, but you can only see Diablo. I feel bad saying this doesn't excite me very much.
Yeah, I've zero, sadly.
I don't think it would be broken, but yeah, I give this a 1. Don't think it's broken. It doesn't make me go, damn, I need to go learn Diablo right now.
No, and the real theme of Diablo ultimately would be that you are engulfed in smoke and you see nothing at all, so you might accidentally put yourself near a wall. Otherwise, a player will see the shaded out ground around them and just stand in safe Diablo places.
Yeah. All right, Gul'dan, Reign of Destruction ignores armor.
Yes, sell it. Bang
Done.
the table.
Anything.
Ian Malcolm.
Yeah, 2 out of 2. Give me make Reign of Destruction meta, please.
Make it chaos damage. That's what this is about. Those are not infernals, but they're still chaotic bolts from the Nether? No. Where does chaos come from?
Chaos comes from the void?
Is it the void?
Do I have the chronicle? I do. Oh God, I'm knocking things off. I have the chronicle right here. I have the.
Okay.
I'm gonna. So class, turn Chronicle Volume 1 to page. There's no numbers. There's an alignment chart for all the things, and so we got chaos. Where's chaos? Is chaos
Twisting
even
Nether?
Chaos
Someone in the chat is twisting?
Chaos is not a thing. There is no chaos.
Right, because it was all over Outland, but
There's
it was
disorder.
It used to be somewhere else, but it got blown up.
Yep. There's disorder, which I would say is the closest thing to chaos I'm seeing on here. And so disorder would be Fel, which would be the Burning Legion, which would be correct. Done.
Excellent. Full points to disorder.
Yes. There you go. I'm so glad I had this handy. Very cool book, The Chronicle. Not a sponsor.
Man, I love that Deckard Cain book. That thing's cool.
I never got that. I heard really good things.
Yeah. I really.
Wait, are you saying that you, Kyle, are like a monster manual?
I've, weird enough as I stare and turn at my many editions of monster manuals. Yes.
Oh no, my Lich King's. Oh, my Lich King's head popped off.
He'll be fine.
He'll be okay. Their Boulevard will take his place. All right, Reign of Destruction. Yeah, Gul'dan, 2 out of 2. Johanna, absorb all crowd control that nearby allies have.
That's a cool idea.
I like this a lot.
So everyone's like CC'd around you. You pop your iron skin and then sort of whoop, swallow everybody.
And then you just stop moving for like, how would it, could this, like, how many stuns could potentially stack in this scenario?
Well, stuns don't, I'd say it's still under the rules of the base game. So no stacking of CCs. There's CCs that override each other, of course, but you would not increase the duration.
Is it
additive.
snapshot or is it a duration?
Snapshot, totally. So if you grab someone's stun for 2 seconds, someone's 1 second stun, you would be stunned for 2 seconds. Because that's just how stuns work in the game.
I think it would be cooler if it was duration. Like if she kind of struck a pose and there was a radius and it was like 1 second, whatever makes sense. It can't be too long because it'd be terrifying. And then whatever CCs went out to targets in that radius, then I like the idea of her coming out of it and then having longer than usual stun lengths.
I think she would be able to use Iron Skin during this, so I see your point. But ultimately, I would pass on that talent we've just created because Falling Sword exists, which gives Unstoppable, and I'm in space anyway.
Fair. I feel like if this existed, you shouldn't be able to Unstoppable out of it.
It's not something that Iron Skin would take care of for you?
I don't think so, because then I think it's a 1. I think it's a 2 otherwise. I think it's exciting but not broken. If you can Iron Skin out of it, I think it's exciting and broken.
I give this a 1.
All right, I'm gonna go with a 1 as well. Mephisto consumes souls now reveals Mephisto during the cast time.
Now that's a nerf.
That's exciting for everyone except Mephisto.
Right. Now, what I do think is a cool idea that was brought up in this thread is he could use his switcheroo during it. So you could use shade while you're casting. However, that now we're like doing something for everyone else's benefit, but then adding more bull for the people to deal with. And I don't want to live in that world. So this is just a 0 for me.
Yeah. I don't think that matches the criteria. Butcher, basic attacks against targets marked with Butcher's brand grant 1 meat. Oh,
it's 1 meat. I think we can spare that.
This is my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
I'm be honest. I skimmed this. I didn't notice this one. This is my favorite one so far. 2 out of 2.
Agreed.
I don't like that committing to a skirmish that doesn't end in a kill feels like the wrong decision as Butcher.
Ooh, yes. Well said. Because you could have been off farming or double soaking or something weird like that.
Yeah, it's Butcher. He should be constantly trying to murder you. And you shouldn't be overly punished for that, which I think at the moment he is.
Bring it.
This idea is great. 2 out of 2. Make it so, please. Please. Is that a 2-2 from you?
Oh, yeah. I've been agreeing the whole time. I'm ready.
Cool. Stitches. Gorge now removes vision for the captured hero. I think that's a technical 2-2.
Yeah. It doesn't really... I'm not in control anyway, and I'm assuming I'm going to end up in the space of the area where Butcher took me. So...
You mean Stitches?
Really, Stitches.
Yeah.
Doesn't really change anything for me.
That's I guess we're not judging if it's impactful or unimpactful. I mean, I think it's sexy on paper and I don't think it's overpowered. So it clears those hurdles. I just also don't think it matters, I guess, is where I'm getting hitched. So I think it's a technicality 2-2.
Yeah. The only time it would really be shocking was if they rode that Medivh portal and did weird stuff with speed boosts, but then you're basically out of it anyway.
Yeah. Overall, I like a lot of Spazzo's suggestions here. That Butcher one, I want to see that.
Spazzo carries a little bit of extra weight too, because it feels like he would know how achievable some of these would be.
Yeah. Oh, I want that Butcher one. All right. Let's take one more, then we'll thank a sponsor and we'll get on to the rest. Valiathus is how I'm going to choose to pronounce this one, Kyle. We're back to Ariel. Move angelic flight to 16 and have it be activate to fly to target location after 2 seconds upon landing. Refill your energy.
All right. I think level 16 could use some help. Level 20 fly is a long way to go. There's some very, very important in level 20s, like Shield of Hope, for instance. Even Diamond Resolve sees a decent amount of play. I'd be for this, and I like that you get hope when you land because you'll be somewhere you shouldn't be, or you'd be dead, and you could probably use some help when you get there in the first place.
Well, I mean, it's up to you where you go, right? You're not always going to be where you shouldn't be. If you're somewhere you shouldn't be, that's on you. It's target location.
I'm saying that you die, and you're at the Hall of Storms, and then there's a team fight breaking out, and you go, I'm on my way, and you're not going to land and then be like, I can't heal everybody. I need to hat somebody, and this is, why did I end up here?
I like this one a lot too. I think full energy might be too much, but that's something they could mess with. I'm gonna give this a 2/2 and say that this is probably a little too powerful, but I want it to happen.
It should scare you a little bit. 2/2.
Yeah, this would be very exciting. This would make me want to get back on Ariel, who I haven't really given an honest shake since she first hit the game.
Oh, she was so great before she got rightfully reined in, and that whole res thing happened. That was probably 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. Yep, I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers Resurrect Ariel meta. That was fun for a short stint. But anyways, we have a sponsor to thank today before we get to some other very interesting talent suggestions. And that is Bombas Socks. That's right. They're back sponsoring this episode of Into the Nexus. If you haven't heard Kyle and myself talk about our wonderful, very comfortable Bombas Socks that if you're me, come in very, very fun colors. You don't have to get tie-dye pink socks, though. There's plenty of other options. I mean, you don't listen. Maybe tie-dye isn't your thing. Maybe pink isn't your thing.
Maybe.
Listen, I'm not saying what color and style of socks you should get, because Bombas offers a ton of different styles and colors. But there's one thing that's consistent.
They have do-it-yourself tie-dye kits now.
What? That's rad. I didn't know that. That's really rad. There is one thing that's consistent, though, with all Bombas socks, Kyle. Comfort.
Nice.
They're super, super comfortable. I'm a big fan of them. And also, they've got stuff for y'all out there. You working on your beach bod? You doing workouts? They've got performance socks for you. Bombas performance socks have taken all of the amazing innovations that make Bombas the most comfortable socks you've ever worn and added their special Hex Tech performance technology. They're stitched with special moisture wicking yarn and temperature regulating vents. I didn't know you could put vents on socks, but Bombas found a way that allow cool airflow in and prevent overheating. I love mine to death. I have been living in my no-show Bombas because it's hot here. But Kyle, I don't like driving a stick shift in sandals. So I'm wearing shoes, and I don't wear shoes without socks, but I'm wearing shorts because it's hot. It all comes together. I need no-show socks. Still got two I haven't taken off the cards yet. They're super comfortable. They're very fashionable. I love them. They're comfy. They're great. And they've got a great offer for listeners of Into the Nexus. Go to bombas.com/Nexus today, and you're going to get 20% off your first order. And if you never spelt it before, it's BOMBAS. Bombas.com/Nexus for 20% off. We thank them for their support, and we thank you for going to bombas.com/Nexus. Get yourself some great socks and also supporting your favorite Heroes of the Storm podcast in the process. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Bombas. Now, Kyle, Schizophrenia, who asked some questions of Cofalt last week, also had some talent suggestions. We're starting with Abathur. Mule removed. This is neither exciting, nor does it have the potential to be overpowered.
There are many people that just want to see it be a drone, and that's enough for them.
Okay. Okay. I think it was our own Corny last week. Really wanted a mule question asked, but Corny, we asked like 3 of your questions, man. So we just, we're letting other people get in there. There's been a weird focus on mule lately. I didn't realize that there were like anti and pro mule people. I think Corny last week wanted like mule on more than one hero, which I guess I hadn't thought about it in a long time. Is there's mule on no one else? It's just Abathur?
Yeah, it was taken out a long, long time ago. Mule was a feature on a couple of heroes. I seem to remember Tassadar having one, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, dude, this is like classic, like case of tunnel vision for me. I haven't really actively thought of the existence of mule in a very long time.
It's in a lot of people's minds right now because of the CCL and Abathur's presence, and particularly things like Sky Temple is one that comes up a lot because that is a macro-based map where building destruction leads to victory, particularly in those moments, them around like 22 minutes where 2 shrines pop at the same time and enemy team's dead. Well, an Abathur could have changed that, saved some towers. In particular, Mule kind of wanders around a little bit. You can reduce the impact of the win condition lane that has been set up over the course of the game, such as you might see on Warhead Junction, a big map where Abathur might have a presence as that map enters some sort of competitive play. Who knows right now? Thematically, it's always been an issue. I don't think it competes well enough, or there aren't other competing talents at 7 to make this more interesting of a choice. So you're going to see Mule in most cases.
I think Mule is so freaking unique. I like it. I'm with you. I think thematically it makes no sense that it's a freaking Terran unit, but it was a holdover because more than one hero used to have Mule. Chavron was mentioning Malfurion. The reason I don't remember this, I actually found the patch. This is all the way back in June of 2017 is when they removed Mule from Malfurion. That's how long.
They also would have gotten rid of Scouting Drone on Malfurion at that time.
Oh, did they? Not the same patch.
Okay, because I think I remember him having one as well. I mean, it's a great kind of generic Nexus-y thing. Raynor had it for a long time. I kind of liked it. It was fun to use. It was an Eye of Cho'Gall sort of thing.
Scouting Drone was removed in January of 2018.
Oh, that lasted a little extra.
Shout out heroespatchnotes.com, by the way.
Yeah.
That's rad. Yeah. I mean,
you know what?
They've been chipping away at generic talents forever. And so, yeah, and at this point, it's like Abathur specific. I want to say it stuck around. Let's just change it to a drone. What are we doing?
And, I get thematically, the drone doesn't actually repair anything. That is why I wish it to be changed to not a drone, but a flex tape tumor. Melee range. That Abathur has to walk up to the building and just like slap it. And just slap a big old gross tumor on the side of the building that pulses and, makes it regrow all like Akira style.
Okay, as long as it's not channeled, man, Abathur does not need to put himself in harm's way like that. But, just a moment of danger, sure, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
A flex tape tumor, just... I'm Billy Abathur, and I'm here to tell you about fixing your towers with this shit.
Slap it on there.
Just slap it on it. Right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, sorry. I'm giving Mule a 0. Mule removed a 0.
Big 0.
Does not, NA, not applicable. Arthas, new talent. Gain 15 armor for each enemy hero in Frozen Tempest. That is potentially broken.
Yes.
It's one of the most exciting things I've read so far today. That's a very a vibrating with excitement one from me.
I would go 1, but I think in the opposite direction. It doesn't excite me because the point of being in Frozen Tempest, particularly if you're going to be doing any sort of auto attacks in there, is that you want to get out of it as fast as possible. So him becoming more resilient might reinforce the fact you shouldn't attack him, but it removes that risk-reward factor.
Does it? I don't think it removes it. I think it mitigates it. Like how much damage do you think you can do?
Clear. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that could get potentially punishing with there's still the frozen talent where you get rooted if you're in it for too long.
over time, the remorseless winner.
Yeah. Now, if this was competing with that talent, then I think it's a 2 for me. If you could get both, I think it's overpowered.
I think this would be way more exciting if it grew in size based on how many people are inside of it.
Ooh.
Because you snag a tank, you're locking down a bruiser. You got like Thrall in there who's trying to get away. Normal size, normal escape range for Thrall. But should you happen to encase the tank and Thrall, and then now it reaches Vala? I mean, Vala should be farther away, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah. A little Defile style chat room. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get that hint of it. Little hint of Defile.
All right. I think we're both a 1 on this one.
Yeah.
Cassia, Lightning Fury range reduced by 1, and this is a nerf.
It honestly, this is what should happen though. Give me 2 weeks. But there is kind of a problem with Cassia.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad suggestion, but it's yeah.
We're reaching the level of Cassia play where it's getting a little Li Mingy. You know what I mean? Like they avoid the main team fight and just go hit the buildings, and because it splits on the building, it's hitting the whole wall. And she's not in any danger. There's not even like that, that boom that happens when the building is like, I'll see you. There is no risk for Cassia just wrecking the front wall.
Yeah, Li Ming at least has to wait for a damn orb cooldown because it didn't hit a hero, and so she doesn't get a triumvirate pop.
Right? And she's got 2 charges of this. You do 2 charges, then you go dance around. I do think that in general, Cassie is a bit much, particularly in that department.
I think this is a good suggestion. Yeah, it's not in the the double Kofal pillar game, but it's a solid nerf suggestion for sure. Malthiel, final curtain adjusted to last until Death Shroud is cast again. Ooh, this is technical one. I need to look at a Malfurion or a Malfurion. I'm looking at a Malfurion. I need to look at a Malthiel.
This is your level 20 talent where you leave out your Death Shroud. Leaves a trail for 4 seconds, applying Reaper's Mark for anybody who steps into the area.
Wait, hold on. Are we assuming this, or is it? It is called Final Curtain. Okay, I love this talent. And so
big risk.
Yeah, I think this might be textbook 2 out of 2.
I think so as well, because it's right on that. Like, I love the idea of like a Probius wall. Malthiel would walk to the edge of the battle area and go, do not pass this point. But you have to like turn sideways, and it probably would be better shot somewhere else. And you're honestly, it's up against no one can stop death, so we can go pretty far. And what's really the cooldown here? I mean, we've got an 8-second cooldown. I'm pretty sure there is throwing shade, increases range, reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. So there's good reason to readjust this frequently. That leaving it in one area forever would not be so bad.
Yeah, and if you go throwing shade, which most Malthiels don't, because that's up against die alone at 4, you can get pretty damn close to a constant uptime. So yeah, this is something that I don't think would be too powerful. It seems powerful on paper, but I think it would shake out just fine over enough games.
We could also give it like a Chromie leash range that if he goes out of, but since it's only hero damage, the only one I see being an issue is they get to your core. For some reason, they lose, but now there's a Death Shroud right in front of the exit, so you have to always mount again after you take 10% of your life as damage upon exiting the core.
That would be griefage for sure. That'd be annoying.
Yeah.
That'd be annoying.
But he had to get there and put it down, and then for some reason leave again and not win the game after that.
And then never use it again.
Right, and then make sure no matter what happens anywhere else on the map, he doesn't use it because the chance of griefing somebody is much greater. Yeah, I think we're safe. I think
you're underestimating how annoying that would be the few times it does happen. But yeah, I like this enough to want to find a way to make it work. 2 out of 2 for me on this one. I like this one a lot.
Agreed.
Medivh. Enemies can now take portals with a 200% longer channel time. What? This is wild.
Yeah.
Skits, this is nuts. Who thinks like this?
Well,
this is great. This is so...
They might be going a little deep here, because the fundamental problem many people have with Medivh is that it changes the game. That you have to play Medivh's game now because he exists. And all the rules are all thrown around, which is kind of cute for Medivh. It's cool that, somebody who is basically that kind of wizard for World of Warcraft has this impact in Heroes of the Storm. So by allowing enemies to ride the portals with a pretty long channel time, and remember, things like Rooted and, of course, being pushed away are all great counters still. You could essentially even the playing fields. And it might add some interesting things like Medivh Malfurion could be a thing. Because it's like, come on, everybody, let's get out of here, ride the portal. But as Malfurion leaves, he puts down a route right at the portal's entrance so that nobody can get in there with any efficiency.
I could see a new strategy just being like baiting enemies to try and use it so that when you see them click on it, it's like, oh, let's jump back in there, stun them, and murder them because they're currently channeling.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, yeah, my immediate thought was you're like doing a camp and a portal appears next to you and your brain is like, do I go through it? Is this for me?
Yeah.
Because chances are usually a whole enemy team will come pouring out of there. You run the second a portal just randomly appears from the darkness. But I liked where your brain took my brain.
Yeah, I think this is an exciting suggestion. I think it upsets the ease of understanding Medivh too much, in my opinion.
I agree. It gets full commemorative honorary 2.2 because it tries to solve an issue that people see with Medivh, but ultimately 0 for me.
Yeah. All right, Nazebo, suggested talent adjustment. Pandemic new functionality. Frogs leave a trail of slime behind them for a few seconds, slowing enemies in the area. Depends on how slow the slow is.
Right. It's a really interesting idea to mess with Nazebo in any way. Pandemic being the level 1 talent where you spawn additional toads. So you'd basically have a cone of slow, a massive cone. But it wouldn't be a triangle because the inside would be curved. So it's a cone. On the ground, that would, even 15% would cause quite a bit of clog. The weirdest thing about Nazebo is the fact that his health pool gets really, really big. And he can do weird stuff like Zombie Wall. So I love in Diablo 3 so much Spirit Walk, which is basically what Leoric does. But I can totally see why they don't want to give him that in Heroes of the Storm, because you guessed it, we would get our Nazebos all farmed up to tank level heights, and then he'd go teleporting for big body blocks out in front of everybody. It would get really silly.
Yeah.
And you'd essentially at that point become Leoric, because you'd be ghosting in front of people to put walls up.
Well, think about where toads shine, though, on like point control maps. I don't think you necessarily have to constantly go out in front. I think you could throw toads ahead in an area where people would be engaging to, and a trail would still be worthy. I think you'd still get value from it.
If you're playing Nazebo in high level areas, the impact of toads ultimately is the siege damage. You want to get those extra toads for the huge damage you're going to do to buildings. In a team fight, you often put out toads and everyone avoids them and then comes back later. So this would answer a little bit of that problem with high level Nazebo play of, after I'm out of toad stacks, everyone just dives me.
Yeah. So I think this checks both boxes for me. I think I would be excited to read this in a patch, and I don't think it would be too powerful.
Okay. I think Nazebo has greater problems, but that's not what we're talking about. So I'll agree. 2 out of 2.
Yeah. Skits had one more Nazebo suggestion, which is that you could remove Fury of the Storm and replace it with activate to randomly spawn instances of zombie wall in an area around Nazebo after a 2-second delay. Meaning spawn a lot of individual zombies around him. Oh, okay. So it's not actually walls, it's just the zombies from zombie wall. Would they automatically uproot? If they don't uproot, I don't think I'm as excited about this. If they uproot, I'm excited about this.
That is kind of interesting, just like a lot of zombies really quickly. It kind of an army of the dead.
Army of the dead with no heal.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential to use those zombies. Definitely. Such as Fury of the Storm replaced with a more Zuli kind of talent where you spawn zombies when you kill minions.
Okay. Fury of the Storm is... I can't believe this thing still exists.
It just steps on the toes of Vile Infection.
It is simply just not a talent I ever want to take. It's not sexy, man. Like, I don't want to call it boring. I think that's like an insulting term, but it's not. It doesn't spark excitement in me at all.
Spark joy.
It doesn't spark. Fury of the Storm does not spark joy. Thank you.
It's that comparison. It's the lackluster, just consolation prize that is insulting on top of it. And I mean this with the full toxicity. You get all the pun for Nazebo. You get to 20 and you haven't completed Vile Infection, and the game's like, would you like to complete Vile Infection but not get the talent? And you're like, that sounds awful. I want nothing less than clearing lanes super duper fast and awesomely and not getting any reward because I messed up earlier.
Yeah, I think this is exciting, and you know, it's mum as to how many zombies. So I think there's a world where this is balanced. A 2 out of 2 for me. I'm excited about this. I like this.
All right.
I like this. What would we call it? Like zombie shuffle?
Ooh, a Fury of Zombies? Zombie Fury? I like Zombie Shuffle.
All right. I'm just going to say Neiman wrote, Greymane is able to mount while in werewolf form, similar to Rhaegar's mounting mechanic is a suggested change. That is exciting and broken. Is my take on that. That's terrifying.
Right, only because mounted Greymane could do a vault, do his disengage. That's... There is a choice you make when you're playing Greymane where you say, I'm going to hang out in Worgen form despite probably wanting to do something else like mounting because I would like to disengage should something bad happen to my face.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's not as scary, I guess.
Also, the balance of you using Dark Flight to engage means that you are invested in that for a period of time before you can disengage. And that's the whole gameplay give and take of Greymane. You would just hang out in Worgen form forever.
I feel like this would also, this would create bush Greymanes that sit in the bush on mount in Worgen form. Start the attack in melee, disengage, get some more range shots in, and then if the fight continues, then they re-engage in Worgen form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it upsets the push and pull balance that is a Greymane commitment in a way that I'm uncomfortable with, and it sounds like you might be as well.
Totally, I think about it every day, though. Yeah. I really do.
This is
every time
definitely exciting, though.
Yeah, it's a one for sure. Like every time you think if you came from World of Warcraft, you know that Worgens are always running around without mounts. It's just what you want to naturally have happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe just a thematic mount for Greymane.
Okay. I think they just ride horses in Gilneas.
Yes, they can. I mean, they can run around in human form in World of Warcraft, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the horses are very pretty. Elite Sparkle suggested, remove the hidden cast time of the following abilities. Arthas' Howling Blast... After my own heart, Elite Sparkle. Muradin's Stormbolt, Stitch's Slam, and Stitch's Putrid Bile. All of these have hidden cast times. They're
not?
fractions of seconds, but they do exist. And the Howling Blast one has always, well, honestly, the Death Coil one as well. Because Death Coil, you also have to like stop and turn around to cast it. Yes, Stitches is doing very well. So yeah. I don't know if Stitches needs the buff right now. I don't know if these are exciting. I think they're exciting because I've specifically asked for Arthas to be a little crispier in his cast time. So I think I have to self-check my bias here.
I think if we do this, we should also include Tyranda's Lunar Flare.
Oh, I think that would be a little. I think it'd be too good on Tyranda.
Yeah, her moving at full movement speed, not having to stop. I mean, it is the moon. It's her god, right? Putting out the lunar flare. So she can't pray on the go?
Well, she fires it from her arrow.
Oh, that's true. It does go up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole reason she stops.
Then it goes up and like it's blessed by the moon and comes back down.
Never thought about that way, but yeah, probably. As long as her god isn't being very choosy, like in recent cinematics in World of Warcraft. Mild spoilers, sorry. You think about every hero Elite Sparkle is suggesting we remove hidden cast time from here. Your Arthas, your Muradin, your Stitches, these are all melee. If you throw Tyrande is not a melee hero. Tyranda's already at a distance in theory when casting Lunar Flare. So I don't think Lunara. Why did I say that? Tyrande. I don't think Tyrande needs the help.
That's where you get into this is all on purpose kind of levels, because you've just listed all CC abilities to some degree. You know, Putrid Bile, maybe not the stun of a Muradin Stormbolt, but maybe Arthas should stop moving when he has a bulwark of slows out in front of him for a Howling Blast.
You know, I think you're right? Because you want to get away from the Arthas, because Arthas probably has the aura going, and there's a push. I think there's an intent. I would assume there's intentional counterplay there with Arthas.
Right. So in a perfect world where Arthas is, meta, he's what I want to be playing, and I do want to play more Arthas. I really enjoy him. I just don't. I would make a choice while pursuing somebody to say, no, I have a chance to miss this. They might get unstoppable or something like that. That will only last a moment. I would be better suited to keep marching rather than stopping and gaining momentum again.
It is a choice that's made. So yeah, I think Muradin Stormbolt's the only one here that I actually want to see adjusted, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's got a nice animation though, with the kind of the wind up of it. I don't want to see it. Nah.
I think it'd be fine.
Zeros across the board, but cool.
I go with ones. I think these are all exciting, but I do think they encroach on some intentional counterplay. Worst Medivh KR suggested on Rexar, Misha becomes untethered after some talent. New Bestial Wrath replacement alt level ? Allowing full lane splitting. I think this is exciting for some Rexar players. I would have instant anxiety.
Because you want your bear by you to do all the important stuff that keeps Rexar alive?
Also, if I want to play Lost Vikings, I'll play Lost Vikings. There's a reason I play Rexar and I do not play Lost Vikings.
That's fair. I mean, the button layout is rather dramatically different. So controlling Misha via, what is it, D trait?
D commands,
yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be as hard as Lost Vikings.
I think it'd be harder.
That's a valid point.
I think it'd be more difficult. Because Vikings...
Minutia.
It's been so long since oh my god, dude! It's been so long since I played Vikings. Can you box select Vikings? Is it StarCraft controls? That's easier. That's straight up easier. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't think I'm personally excited about this, but I think this is technically a 2-2, but not for me.
I would struggle to think why at level 20 you would want to lose your bear to double soak.
That's a good point. I think this would be like a new level 10.
Because you could put your bear to scout in places, but if you lose that bear, That's pretty expensive at level 20.
See, I'm thinking, I don't know if it is expensive because if I want my bear back, would it like how big of a map? Are we on Warhead Junction? Can Misha take tunnels? Because if not, it might be faster to let Misha die to get her back in my lane. This is a weird one. I'm giving this a 1 and a question mark. I think it is exciting. I think I don't know. I think that the impact of this is too shattering of my understanding of Rexar to fully judge.
Yeah, this is a 2 out of 2, but we need like a third category but would it trick players to do it wrong? And I don't mean like in the quick match kind of here's the storm Reddit way of like everyone's bad but me. The game teaches them. I just mean it just sounds dangerous. Bring it on, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I think it's exciting, but not for me. Is my reaction to this. Worst Medivh also suggested that Probius get a cannon rush talent where photon cannons last forever, but are still disabled by destroying the pylon, and can be manually targeted.
Yes, bring it.
Yeah, 2 out of 2. I want this. I want this to be a
courtroom,
thing.
everyone banging the tables, go around and bring it.
This gives me the Probius I always wanted.
But the pylons should be the struggle, not the duration of the photon cannons.
Yes.
And Gazlo can target his turrets. Like, just let it happen.
Sound like he said turds, but I'm with you. It's like you're
know,
really mad about Gazlo turrets, and I don't know why.
I've got a whole... I used to love Gazlo, and then they said, target your turrets, and I was like, I'm not that hardworking. So I've got my own problems. But with Probius, I will be that hardworking, because I'm not also a goblin melee man.
Yep. I Love Memocracy suggested that Malthiel gets Tormented Souls changed up to where it has new functionality. For the next 4 seconds, active Reaper's marks do not decay, and Wraith Strike's cooldown recharges 150% faster.
It's a cool idea.
This is bold.
So, unleash a torrent of souls, continually applying Reaper's Mark to nearby enemies for 4 seconds. How long does a Reaper's Mark last? For 4 seconds. So you could mark up people, and as they walk away, that's actually kind of like Lunari. That's kind of fun. So they're walking away. You know that's been going for like 3 seconds, and it's not going to get the kill. So you activate Tormented Souls, and that now continues the duration, pauses the duration of everybody who has Tormented Souls. In addition to, you'd be teleporting around and doing your normal team fight thing. But you do a lot more damage with this if you pre-marked people and then focus down the team fight you were actually working on.
Yeah. I don't think this feels like a heroic. It feels more like a trait or something. Because I have to do pre-work to get value out of my heroic.
That's not unknown, but you're right, like Inevitable End, which activates Unstoppable at 13, but removes Reaper's Marks. How cool would it be to give another talent there that lets you click to extend a Reaper's Mark? Mephisto has a talent like this where you can click to extend the length of a Lightning Nova.
Yeah. Yeah. So what heroic does work like this? What heroic makes me do work first for value out of my heroic?
Oh, man, I got to think for a hot moment. There's situations where Oh, man.
Chat room, feel free to get in on this.
I mean, Kel'Thuzad would be a big example. You got to actually hit people and do things before you do the big explosion underneath their feet, Shadow Fissure.
Oh, okay. You're suggesting a combo. Shadow Fissure still gives you an effect if you haven't done Jack.
Oh, you're looking for something that like just doesn't work unless I've pre-marked or something along those lines.
Right, because that's how this would work. Like if you had no Reaper's Marks out, I mean, I'm sure they could just gray this out and make it not a thing. But if you had one out and you can use it and you use it, you're getting very little for your heroic selection.
Yeah, That I have no argument for that, because even Maev can put out a Warden's Cage, but if you didn't umbral bind a bunch of people before it, it's probably not going to get much done.
Yeah.
But that's not necessary. You could still Warden's Cage on top of one person without tethering them first.
Yeah. And chat room saying Phoenix, you have to slow for the ult to do more damage. But again, that's for
you go.
better ult. It's still doing damage.
I'd say
maximizing
Phoenix is spot on. I'd say Phoenix is spot on.
I think it's still a combo, by definition. So we're talking about Planet Cracker?
Yeah. Oh, no. Salvo. Salvo deals, I believe, 50% more damage if you are slowed before it goes out.
Okay,
yes.
but it still does damage.
Right.
Without the slow.
But that 50%, I mean, you really feel it. If you do like a Malfurion light cleanse, you can drastically cut down the damage of Purification Salvo. It's a really powerful moment to use any sort of cleansing ability.
Yeah, I'm not refuting that. I'm simply stating that it still has value if you haven't slowed. Whereas this has no value if there's no Reaper's Marks.
Well, you still get your spinny business, but it is competing with Last Rites ultimately.
Yeah.
So we can go pretty far with Tormented Souls into the weird territory. I do think that this reaches the massive paragraph problem where as a new player, I'm not even saying as a new player, like I see Last Rites, I see a quest on there, my brain kind of goes, what now? But if I saw all this on Tormented Souls, I think I'd go right back to my what now Last Rites.
Okay.
But Phoenix was a really good example.
I'm gonna give this a 1. I don't think it's exciting. I think it's curious, and I don't think it would be broken.
Fair assessment. I agree.
Yeah. All right, Kashishi Zagara. Allies should be able to use Nidus Worms. 2 out of 2. Print it. But actually, this is potentially broken.
It is exciting. Yes, and I think at Zagara's current health pools, and as we know her right now, it doesn't feel awful. But I would really like to see Zagara be more than this, and this would push her down a territory of being like full Medivh level supports that I really don't want out of Zagara.
I don't personally want it out of Zagara, but I do think there's room in the game for more Medivh weird support.
That's fair.
I'm trying to divorce myself from my personal desires from Zagara. I don't think you can heal and give mana back like it currently does to Zagara. I think being able to traverse Nidus Worms at will your entire team is already questionably powerful.
So when I played StarCraft, my favorite way to play was just massing queens and using spine crawlers, really turtling up, but that heal over and over again on the buildings was really what the evolution chamber right there in front to like block my door against the Protoss and healing up like that. That was awesome. So I'm of so many different minds about Zagara. There's that like supporty world that would fit, but I also remember that pretty decent damage and range from the Zagara or the Queen, not Probosci, not tentacles, back legs, whatever the heck they are, pokers.
Reticulated spines.
Yes, those were awesome. But I also am still kind of in that camp of like, if I could just see her be the Sylvanas level of rework of Assassiny, that would just be so awesome. I'm kind of in love with the idea of a Nidus Worm just swallowing somebody too. Like you basically self-dismiss, like you do with a Medivh, this level of support where you could be like, whoa, Vala's almost dead. Home up out of the ground, swallows up, she farts off in the base somewhere. Still same health.
That's basically Maw.
Yeah, but you like friendly Maw.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about enemies. Okay. Okay, that'd be interesting. This is so much better than Medevac.
That's true.
This is so much, but this is like there's no way Medevac even competes with how much better this is.
Awesome.
I mean, it's not attached to a healer. I mean, this is super exciting. I think it is overpowered.
Absolutely.
This is
you
a
still
one.
do have to.
Yeah.
You still have to go there. You still have to lay the creep, but it's not the micromanaging you can do in the background just behind a wall would be extremely powerful and break the rotational knowledge of the game.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right. Corny got in on this thread and gave a suggestion. Are you ready?
Hang on. It's time to ask yourself what you believe. What movie is that from?
That's from Last
yes.
Crusade.
Yes, that constantly comes in my head when I think of Zagara right now.
Why?
Because who is she? We need to define as a community who Zagara is. Zagara.
Historically, an ad-based lane bully, but she is now a lane itch as opposed to a lane bully.
A hindrance.
Yeah, a mild inconvenience.
Athlete's foot.
There are so many bruisers that do her lane bully job better than she does.
Mm-hmm.
Zagara is just an old friend I don't talk to anymore, but I miss her.
There's so many ones we could enjoy, like a bruiser with Zagara flying in the background. Look what they need for a fraction of our power. It's joyous. There's so many memes we could do about Zagara.
So when am I good in a team fight? That's the neat part. You aren't.
Yeah.
Are we just doing invincible memes?
Perfect. They work. We need a campaign for Zagara.
Vin Diesel walks in. You don't need Zagara when you have Sonya. You don't need Zagara when you have Blaze. You don't need Zagara when you have Zool.
It's the only way we're going to get it done.
Yep. Sorry. All right. Corny says they should give Nazebo Spirit Walk instead of Ice Block, and then calls people cowards. A little aggressive there, Corny.
See, that's how you get body blocking bruiser Nazebo, and I think it'd be awesome and good. But there's a guy called Leoric, and we can't go there.
That encroaches on Leoric.
Yeah.
This is straight up. Give him Wraith Walk instead of Ice Block.
And plus, then we're going down the road of my favorite.
Plus, you leave
Diablo
the body
build.
behind. You use Ice Block when you're gonna die. If you Wraith Walk when you're gonna die, you're gonna die.
Right, and might as well give him the Spirit Barrage, and you just walk around circles, and everything dies around you. It won't be the same. Corny, I know. I'm there with you. I love my Diablo build, my Spirit build for my Witch Doctor, but no matter what, enemies won't all explode when we barely touch them because we're on easier difficulties.
I think it's exciting, and it's probably not overpowered, though.
Probably not. Particularly up against something like Ice Block, and if we include if your body takes too much damage, your spirit sort of shadow you leave behind. No, it's your body, and then you spirit shadow out, and if your body takes too much damage, it cancels early. Like that is not an Ice Block. I bet you people would still go with Ice Block instead.
Yeah. Well,
but you would get like deep engaged Nazebo, which would be weird.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take a question from our mailbox before we end?
Let's do that.
Cool.
By the way, it's worth mentioning everybody wants a Rhaegar rework. Totem Shaman, lots of talk about Rhaegar in these threads.
Yes. Yeah. We honestly should probably do a Rhaegar spotlight in a future episode.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah. And keep these coming, by the way. We just noticed a big trend on Reddit this week, so we wanted to dive in and talk about a lot of these suggestions. But if you're listening right now and you've got what you think is a really exciting idea that isn't broken, send it in, itncast@gmail.com. There's no reason we can never revisit this idea of reviewing talent suggestions.
The pillars.
I like it. We could just start a new segment called 2 out of 2 ? Where we take a couple of these every episode. If we get enough of them, we'll consider doing that. Anyways, let's take an email before we wrap this up.
Darkness stopped calling.
Does anyone else hear that buzzing?
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
You can send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. If you're a patron, you can skip the inbox entirely and just message us in the patron Discord. Check it out, patreon.com/ITN. RJade writes in and says, hey, another newbie question for my favorite podcast hosts. Oh, thank you. You didn't even quantify us as your favorite Heroes of the Storm podcast hosts.
Nice.
Means a lot. Could I please request some tips on how to get games in when A, my time in the game is limited and random thanks to my supreme overlord, a toddler, and B, I have few friends who play this outstanding game, and even if they did, our schedules don't match up. I guess I'm asking for tips for solo queue match or solo queuing quick match, I guess. I feel bad joining ranked and stuff, being a crappy player and letting down a team of potentially better players. Haha. Anyways, whatever tips you can give me, I'm willing to take. All right, RJ. All right, let's see. First of all, you may not be as bad as you think.
That is true.
So if you feel like you're settling for quick match when you really, really would rather draft, just draft. Just go draft.
Well, and you go on here to say that often Tassadar is one of your big projects. And I think that is a highly available hero in this current meta. The damage is really, really solid. Your quick match time can be spent learning maps and chokes and how to do things like, depending on your league, the force wall black hole into it so everyone gets stuck on the force wall as the black hole pushes them back so they don't actually move so your teammates can actually fire on that guy. That is a really basic, very fun combo that is self-executable, can be very powerful. You put a big old shock ray down the middle of that, you're going to have a good time. And regardless of supports and tanks in your game, that is a project you can work on. Then take that over to ranked play with your limited time because you want the healers and the tanks and the more organized fights, but you've already decided all these things for yourself. Map locations and combos.
Map locations. I like that. Is memorable. How have we know? How you've never distilled it so perfectly before? That's great.
Well, I never asked.
I mean, we've done a lot of kind of beginner tips, right? About getting your head around the basic gist of Heroes of the Storm. But I like that, like boiling it down to map location and combos. That's a good way to think about it. And also, if you're working on Tassadar, I think Tassadar is a damn near, dare I say, as perfect a quick match spammer as has ever existed.
What makes you say that?
Just solid damage, and in the grand scheme of things, decent self-healing if you talent into it that you don't have to actively manage.
Okay, I feel you. You're talking about like Oracle for like just restoring health over time, or
let me
shielding.
Let me pull up yield. Yeah, definitely some of the shielding for sure. Trying to think of what am I? I think I'm thinking of the shielding. That's what I'm thinking of.
Sure, that'll go pretty far in your. This is your not arc discharge. What level is that shield on? Plasma shield, level 4.
Yeah, you get it really early on.
An Oracle, like stuff like that is actually very, very valuable. I'm on that Cassia kick, so I've got no problem telling you about all the Cassia ever. But Plate of the Whale is really efficient at level 4 for her. You've got Ring of the Leech where you have to do things, Inner Light where you're waiting on a cooldown, reducing it with your Qs. But Plate of the Whale is just going. Like heals over time on big maps and heals over time like Tassadar has at 13 will keep you in the game, particularly where there's no healer to take care of you and get you back in. So in that sort of way, you're working on, not hearthing as much, always having impact, which means hiding behind a wall with low health and still lane clearing and soaking XP. There's lots of valuable things you can practice and then apply in that ranked. I know some people don't want to go into that rank. You kind of sound like you do, though. And that can give you motivation to play by yourself.
Yeah, I'm detecting trace amounts of I really want to queue I really want to draft, but I have ladder anxiety. I'm noting trace amounts of ladder anxiety, Kyle. To which I say I think you should just jump in and go for it if that's what you're worried about. But again, I stand by it. I think Tassadar is a great quick match hero. Especially if you're like me, like I mentioned now almost 90 minutes ago at the top of the show. I right now I'm in this, I just want to have fun mode. And to me, this is not a knock on tanks and healers. But to me, tanking and healing is not like me having fun. Here's the storm. That's me trying to help, trying to fulfill a role, and trying to win. To me, like, I just want to murder people. That's me having fun. I want to throw out cool abilities and stand in the back line and have a good time. And Tassadar checks all those boxes and brings some self-reliance to the party and can stay somewhat safe because of the range of a lot of his abilities.
I'm trying to think of the most toddler-friendly hero there is, though. Because ultimately, and I can speak from experience now, the part of your brain that gets completely drained hanging out with a toddler is the quick reactions. Because you're always on the lookout for danger. They could go anywhere at any point. They can grab anything at any point. And so I wouldn't suggest support or healer in the least. Never Anduin. Never play Anduin, because that's all about picking up people before they get into trouble. You would want, actually, Garrosh would be the opposite. You're throwing people into trouble. You're being violent, grumpy. You're not being supportive emotionally. But yeah, selfish heroes. Garrett, Imperious, you don't care if anybody joins your spear. You're going to spear, damn it. Whether you die or not doing it, you got your spear. It's everyone else's problem.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't have the experience you have. I don't know. I'm trying. It's like, for me, it's like a dog is taking a dump on my floor, and I gotta go pick it up because the odor is killing me. If it's a little tinkle, that can wait till the end of the game. That's fine. I'll get to it. But like a turd, I'm prone to gagging, Kyle, from certain odors.
Sure.
So that needs to get dealt with right away.
See, that's like Brightwing. Like that's like Brightwing exhaustion. You're watching the whole map. You're looking out for turds. Oh no! Please don't! Please don't! Please don't! It's fine. I'm on the way. Okay, here I go. I'm here. What do you need? Let me clean up. See, that's the Anduin is this is extremely dangerous. I must act immediately before this happens. I must change this outcome.
Brightwing is a good hero for, I'm so sorry, be right back. Because you can, when you are back, you can get right to the action via phase shift. That is probably the best hero, unless you're like, any global hero is probably really good for if you think there's going to be an, oh, I'm so sorry, BRB moment.
I would say yes, but particularly Brightwing, because you're more reactionary. You're going to go in and then do a bunch of stuff real quick. Like Dahaka, you could think you're going to the right place, but by the time you arrive, the lanes have changed. You got to get back to the other lane. Now you're stuck here. Falstad, you could fly in and you die. Brightwing's perfect. And plus, if you die, it's other people's fault because they were going to die anyway, and you tried to save them, and they put you in that horrible position. Yeah. By the way, I played my first Dahaka game since 2018 fall this week. And I had a good time. I never want to play Dahaka by myself. Never, ever, ever. But I'm working on it for my team, my NGS team, and I'm having a really good time.
Yeah. And speaking of teams, also, you didn't specify that you're trying to get together with 4 other people, but in case that is a thought in the back of your mind, don't discount just like hanging out with like whatever buddy is available. I find duo Heroes of the Storm probably my favorite way to play it, really, if I'm being honest. I love playing with one other person. Because once you get up to that full 5 stack, I don't know, my experience, it's try hard time. Y'all are trying to figure out what slot you fill in, what you can bring, what you can work on, how you can best fill out the skills and the roles of the 5 people that you're playing with.
And if you are interested in that to an extreme, NGS is coming up. There's going to be a new season, and it can be really time effective because you're spending your limited time playing in the highest capable way you could. And when you say, I'm going to go play, is family okay? I'm going to go play video games for 2 hours, maybe. You could also be saying, I've got a match tonight. I've got this hobby I participate in, and I will be gone for exactly an hour and a half because that's how long it's going to be. And that game time, win or lose, means that group gets together the next week and improve, hopefully, improve like a guild. That's why I love guilds in World of Warcraft or MMOs, because you get a belt. I'm happy for you because now overall our DPS went up.
Yep. Yeah. No, I have tons of friends with families, that make time for weekly semi-competitive occurrences, like a Friday Night Magic kind of a thing. Like that's the kind of thing where if you can find time for that, and then it's a known quantity that you and your family union can kind of plan around and expect. That also helps too.
Exactly.
So it's how we started podcasting. Told my then girlfriend at the time, I was like, every Thursday at this time, I'm going to do this thing. Eventually, it started paying bills. Thank you, patrons. But before then, you know, it was a thing that needed to be a known quantity.
It could be a big ass. Time management is very difficult.
Yeah. And now I'm married. Seriously, patrons, thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. I can't thank you enough. This is not a pimpage for the Patreon. It is a legitimate thank you to the people that let me tell my boss to F off.
This man would not be married without you, is what I heard.
I'd be married. I'd just be married and have an office job. So, which is fine. Maybe one day I would have found one, but oh my God, the office jobs I had back before this was paying bills, there wouldn't be a hair left on my head, Kyle. But anyways.
It'd be a real shame.
Oh, thank you. Yours as well, you luscious man.
Nah, I like you've done the new thing. I know this is a podcast and people imagine us looking all kinds of ways, but you look fabulous. I really like
Oh, thank you. Dude, I it's hot right now. I wanted a shorter haircut that was a little less maintenance. So I was like, you know what I haven't had since I was 19? A faux hawk. And so
you look aerodynamic.
It's a little fluffy today. But yeah, this is great. Dude, this is just a little sea salt spray. Done. Nothing else. How wonderful is that? Do you know how long I take blow drying that my previous do?
Nice. Sea salt. No petroleum products. That's good.
It's wonderful. It's great. It's wonderful.
This is the end of the show, everybody.
It's the end of the show. If anyone wants hair tips. Yeah. It's great. It's wonderful. Anyways, that's going to do it. RJ, thank you for your email. Folks, keep them coming. itncast@gmail.com. Patrons, keep them coming to the Discord. I am off for 2 episodes after this. Kyle, you're going to be holding down the fort with some lovely guests that you know and love from Into the Nexus episodes past.
Yes.
We're still selecting days and times because there may be some flexing, yeah?
Yeah, I think time might change. Usually noon Pacific time over here at twitch.tv/AMoveTV, but might be some wiggle for those guests coming up. But look forward to the many fabulous voices you have heard before.
Yes, it's going to be great. And so thank you for doing that, man. I'm going to disappear to the Florida Keys with Katie for more than a week. It's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. Anyways, thanks again to our patrons. Mentioned them a few times today, but thank you very much. And if you want to become a patron, if you want to support the show with $1 or more, your choice, head on over to patreon.com/ITN. Also, a huge thanks to our producers. So Declan H, Cheesy Bob, Chris K, Sean B, and Mike R. Thank you very much for your support. If you want to catch us live, or typically, as previously mentioned, Thursdays at noon Pacific over at twitch.tv/AMoveTV, or you can follow the show on Twitter at ITNcast and we'll tweet when we're going live. Follow us there. But before we go, dude, Kyle, you've mentioned NGS. You do so many other wonderful things like There Will Be Dungeons, which I recently guested on. Where can everyone find you?
You can find everything I do over at kylefergusson.com. 2 S's in Fergusson. There you'll find Here's the Storm VODs, D&D content in the form of learn to play shows like DM Gives Inspiration, live play D&D like There Will Be Dungeons, and other future projects, which I look forward to sharing with you soon.
Oh, I think listeners of the show might be excited about one of them.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. Was that too much? Are you going to yell at me if that's too much?
That's fine to say. No, you can say that all you want.
Okay, great. Get hyped for it. You can follow me at Garrett Art, where I am getting hyped for Kyle's new projects. And other than that, I've mentioned this recently. I'm going to mention it again. Been a while, but I am still a freelance artist. I do graphic design. I do video editing. If you need help making content or making your content look nice, let me know and check out nomoonart.com. That is my graphic design portfolio. And while I will be gone for slightly less than 2 weeks, when I get back, I am going to have some open commission time for a few weeks. So if you have a project that needs done in the beginning of August, go to nomoonart.com and contact me there. There's a contact form. It goes directly to my own personal inbox. It's a secret email. My phone dings. I will see it. I will respond. So head on over to nomoonart.com. Let me know if you got a project. I'll let you know if I'm available, and if slots have filled. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Into the Nexus. Until next time, good luck and have fun, everyone.
Take care.